Welcome to Ambassador in the Marketplace, where we correct your misconception and give you advice to thrive in the marketplace. I'm so glad to be able to come into your living room, into your office, or even into your car this afternoon, this lovely Sunday afternoon, to be able to talk about another minister in the marketplace. I've got with me my guest today, Tolu, who will be sharing with us our experience in the marketplace. So I will get her to introduce herself and tell us about her journey into our chosen career. Please help me welcome Tolu this afternoon. Tolu, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Adeoye, for having me in the room today. It is such a huge pleasure to be brought into the room to join the ambassador in the marketplace. I am so happy and I am delighted. Thank you, everyone watching. My name is Tolu. I am from Nigeria, the African giant, and I live in Highland at the moment. I've been a nurse for 20 years. And I am married, a happy wife for 14 years. And actually, in the next 2 days, I'll be celebrating my 14th wedding anniversary. I am blessed with 3 kids, and I am a happy lady. I work presently with the Health Service Executive in Highland, and I'm also the Director of Mentorship with Nurses in Charge, an organization based in Florida in USA. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, thank you so much. You did a fantastic job, which is why I don't do it. So thank you for coming. So let's get right into it. So tell us, why did you go into nursing? Why nursing?
Great question. I've answered that over and over again. And fast forward to when I finished my secondary school, 2000 precisely. I was just 16, sorry. And I gained admission into 2 institutions. I gained an admission to study biochemistry in the university, and I also gained admission to study nursing in the university. So, because I was still pretty young, I was just 16, like I said, and I was very naive, and it was difficult for me to choose in between the 2. But thankfully, my parents stepped in. My mom was a nurse, and daddy loved nursing so much. So daddy said, Tolu, why not pick nursing? But then it was an admission into the School of Nursing. And considering the fact that I wanted to go into the university, I don't want to go into, the School of Nursing as it is believed back then, because most people just believe it is a glorified secondary school and it is not an higher institution. And I was like, Daddy, I want to go to the university. I want to go and study biochemistry. But Daddy said, no, Tolu, think about it. Think about the life of mom. You can just start in with nursing. And even when you finish, you can go into the university to have your bachelor's degree, because knowing fully, if you graduate from School of Nursing, you end up having the associate degree in nursing. Thank God I did not go against daddy's advice. I jumped in and I entered the School of Nursing at the age of 17. I was so young. I was naive. The pressure was on me, the academic pressure, and all of that. But I would say I love nursing from the start. Even then, I do not, have a specific course to study in my mind, but I really loved helping people. And my parents, they had already noticed that in me, that, even as a young girl, I love jumping in to offer to offer help to my people around me, my siblings, the way I care for my siblings and my family member, that, you're going to be a great nurse. And that was what prompted me. That was what glued my affection into becoming a nurse, because I know this will give me an avenue to look after people, to touch many lives, and to look after the sick. Not only looking after people when they are sick, because nursing encompasses, caring for the whole well-being, whether you're sick, whether you are healthy, whether you're indisposed, you can just jump into people's life at any point, not necessarily when they are sick. And this is what I've enjoyed doing for the past 20 years. I've been, making an impact in people's life, irrespective of their condition. And I will say basically is because of the love that I have for helping people that attracted me into studying nursing. And I still love doing that. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Thank you. And this is interesting because, it's amazing how our parents have an impact on where we go. And sometimes they see things that we can't see, especially at that young age where you're still thinking, what should I do now? Yeah. So what are the myths about your role as a nurse? What are the things that, people say to you and you're thinking, that's not true,
Yeah, I'll just tell you about one or two that comes to my mind at the moment. Like I said before, that some of the misconception people have about the nursing profession is that the nursing profession is for those who are not academically good enough to go into the medical profession, which is completely wrong. Because some people, including myself, we actually did not make medicine the first choice, of course, for us in the higher institution. So when I entered nursing, some people were like, oh, did you plan studying medicine? Probably your JAMB score or your grades were not good enough for you to go into medicine in the university, which I suppose that's one of the biggest misconception people have for people that are in the nursing line, which is completely wrong. Well, it could be true for some people. Probably they love going into the health line and they couldn't meet up with their academic performances or something like that. But for majority that I have met, for some of the people that I have met, it's actually their calling. They really wanted to be a nurse. And for people like myself, I don't pick nursing not because I did not have the opportunity to study medicine, but because I loved helping people and I felt, okay, if I study nursing, I will be able to, jump in to take care of people directly, because like we know, nurses, we spend a lot of time with the patients, even more than the doctors. So some people believe, okay, nursing is the second choice for so many people who actually try to get into the medical line, but they couldn't. This is very wrong, and it's one of the misconceptions that I would love to address, because that is not true. I suppose if you want to study nursing, you actually need to be extremely brilliant. You need to, you need to be brainy, and you have to be a critical thinker. You have to be a fast learner, which I suppose all those qualities are also needed for you to study medicine. So if you're not brilliant, if you're not academically fit, you can't even go into nursing. You can't succeed in the nursing line as well. So nursing is for the exceptional people that are extremely intelligent and brilliant, because I will tell you, it's not one of these easy courses that I know. Just like medicine as well, you need to know what you are doing. You have to be a critical thinker, you have to be smart, you have to be intelligent, and you have to be a fast learner for you to be successful in the nursing field. Also, some of them is part of the misconception that I've noticed is that people will say, oh, study nursing, travel abroad, and you're going to make more money and get rich. I am not rich. I don't know about other nurses. I'm not rich and I'm not poor at the same time. But I will just say, if you go into nursing, you will live a comfortable life. You'll be able to afford your expenses. You'll be able to take care of yourself. You are independent financially. You're not looking up onto people to pay your bills for you. But I am not famous and I am not rich. And I mean, I've been working for over 17 years. So I suppose it's not, very easy as the people outside the profession thinks. That if you study nursing, if you go to travel to America, go to the UK, travel to Europe, you're going to make a lot of money and become rich. It requires hard work, consistency, and, if you are an entrepreneur, of course, and you have your businesses combined with your nursing job, maybe you'll be rich, but nurses are not very rich like I know, but we are not poor as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I can't stop laughing. It's just it's amazing how people have this misconception about different careers. And the idea that, oh, because you're a nurse and you can do long shifts and you can work in different places, you suddenly cannot have the millions. I don't know how that works, but it's that
And
many
there is
things.
one more that I just remember at the moment. I'll just add the third point. The populace believe the nursing profession is a female profession. This is absolutely wrong. We have a lot of vibrant, intelligent, and hardworking male colleagues in the profession. So if you are a male out there and you are considering nursing, don't be discouraged by people saying, oh, it's a female profession. No, because nursing is very diverse and you can go into, many areas of nursing. We have those in the academics, we have those in the ambulance care, and, many areas. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you must be at the bedside looking after patients. Even we have the vibrant male nurses that are in the bedside as well, and they are doing well. So for people watching, nursing is not a female profession. It is, for both male and female. So please take note of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I've actually heard of that where people think that, oh, it's a woman's thing. What are you going there for? And when they see a man in nursing, they're really shocked. Like, what are you doing here? And it's important to be able to obviously address that myth. Thank you so much. Thank you. So tell us about your journey of faith. It's important that, that's part of us and we can't separate that. So tell our audience about your journey of faith, how you get to know God, and now that has obviously changed the way you practice. Tell us.
Thank you so much, Temitope. I'm a Christian and a very devoted Christian. I was born and raised by a pastor. My father is a pastor of one of the gospel churches in Nigeria. And I will say I'm very devoted. I'm a devoted Christian. And my journey of faith has been nothing but a journey full of testimony, Growing up as a kid, we go to church, we pray, we participate in the family devotion and all of that. This has helped me a long way, even in my nursing profession, because, knowing God from the very start, from the very young age, has helped me and constantly reminded me of my journey as I journey through life, through marriage, through my profession, through my career. I'm being constantly reminded of the presence of God in my life. And that has helped me so much, not only in my academics, but where I am today. I pray a lot, and surprisingly, I see most of my questions in my dream. Even before I get into the exam, I'm a good dreamer. So that's one of the best way God communicates with me. While I was in school, I'm so good at, just sleeping. My mates will come to me and say, Tolu, have you seen anything? Tolu, have you seen anything? Yeah, because, it has happened times without number. I don't know if our audience believes in dream, but I so much believe in dreams because that's one of the ways God speaks to me. And it has really helped me in my academics performances. I have been able to do exceptionally in school. Not only that, even in my career as a nurse, most of the time when I'm going on a duty, when I just sleep and I'm preparing for work the following day, I see most of the challenges I'll be facing in my dream. And that really helped me to, be cautious of making mistakes or doing things that will have an impact on my career or my license. And I would say it's a good thing to have faith in God, and not only having faith, not only being a church girl, but knowing your relationship with God. I have a strong relationship with God, and I know the best way to communicate with Him in prayers. And one of the most loved Bible verse that I've taken along with me since my young age is Matthew 5:14-16, which describes that we are a light of the world, and that the city set on a hill cannot be hidden, and that you can't light a candle and put it under the bookshelf, but you put it on the bookshelf to give light into the whole building. So I see myself in that biblical illustration that I'm representing the image of God. So wherever I am, whether whether at workplace, whether in the midst of my colleagues, whether in my school, wherever I am. I want to be that shining light of God. I want to be that perfect example of what the Bible illustrates in Matthew 5:14-16, that I'm a light of the world. And so, when circumstances and situations around me even prompt me to not being the good person that I am, I take my spirit back. The Holy Spirit take me back into that Bible verse, and I'll say, oh, you stop there. Remember, you are the light of the world, and this and that, and everything I do, I am doing it so that my Father in heaven will be glorified. And this has really helped me in the journey of my faith. And it has really helped me a long way in my morals, in my service delivery, and in my image as a nurse. I've been able to meet with people, a lot of people in all spheres of the world. And thankfully, I wouldn't say there is anyone who will say, oh, Tolu is a bad person, like she's not a good person, or so it has really helped me. Moving in faith with God in the journey of life has really helped me in being whom I am, and it has made me to be an exceptional nurse, so to say. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing your testimony. And it's important that, our faith kind of shines through, and because that's what draw people to us, and then we can share about our faith and our beliefs with them. And when you talked about, it's very interesting when you talk about when your friend come and say, have you seen anything?
Anything, yeah.
And that's been part of the light, isn't it? That they can see that there is something God is doing with you. So you spoke something about nursing being a calling, and I've always worried about that, especially in the healthcare. I've always thought about it. Is healthcare, if you're in the healthcare, is it a calling, or you just can you just jump into it? So nursing is one that is very, like you said, you spend a lot of time with patients, and it's about caring. And so is nursing a calling, or can you just grow into the role? Because I personally, sometimes I feel like some people, I don't think they should be doing nursing, because the care, it's just not there, and you're thinking, why are you here? So tell our audience, do you think is a calling, or can you grow into it, and help us understand it a bit more? Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's very sensitive, and that's curious. So for me, I believe you can grow into nursing, and you can also go into nursing through calling. But I will say it will be more easier if you are called to become a nurse, because caring for the sick isn't an easy task, because we are all human. Nurses are also human beings, and we have our own pains. Some of us are sick. Some of the nurses are also sick. Being sick doesn't mean, okay, your body system is sick. Some people are sick emotionally. Some have challenges going on in their homes, and they want to bring that frustration to work. Some have financial constraints. Some have been looking for jobs. They've not been able to, get a comfortable job for themselves. Some have family members, close relations that are sick, that they are looking after in their homes. And yet, as a nurse, you have to leave your sick family members. Most of the times when I was raising my kids, my married child will be sick at home, and I have to leave my child back and go back to my duty to look after people that are sick in the hospital. So I believe if it is not a calling, you will find all these things so difficult to cope with. And that is why you will see some nurses not happy with what they are doing. It's so difficult for them. And you will see other version of nurses, they jump in, they help people. It feels as if all this profession is part of them. They are not even, they are not challenged. They are not even feeling the burnout or anything. So that's why I said it's in two ways. You can actually get the calling, and you can grow into it. So for those people who love taking care of the sick, who love helping people, who love going an extra mile, to give hand of help to people from inception, if they find themselves in nursing, it will be more easier for them to cope with the stress, with the burnout, with the challenges, with the frustrations they will meet in their professional journey. But for those who jump into nursing because, oh, nursing is very lucrative, when I finish, I'm going to get a job on time, I'm going to make money, I'm going to have the opportunity to travel abroad, well, all those will happen, but you might end up being in the profession and not happy in it. And with little challenge, you get messed up, you get frustrated, you get tired and ask yourself, oh, why do I choose to study nursing? I hate this profession. So it depends. You can grow into it and be a very successful nurse if you are able to cope with the challenges. Because I've said earlier on, I said nursing is not an easy job to do. You have to put in your best. You have to put in more. If you have something called more than 100%, at times you'll be having a headache yourself and you'll be looking after somebody who has a headache. That's why, this common thing in with nurses is that most of the nurses, you will want to go for your toilet break. You'll be holding your bladder for longer hours. You won't be able to have a chance to leave what you are doing and take the toilet break. That's because you're so glued, you're so engrossed, in looking after these people that you so much love to take care. So it's very easy if you get called into the profession. It makes the profession a roller coaster for you, and it makes your journey so easy. Not that you won't get challenges. Of course, challenges will come, but you will see those challenges. Oh, okay, it's one of those things. Life is not a bed of roses, and there are always two sides of the coin. You will see like, okay, this is my own time to face the challenge, and you'll be able to come out of it. But whatever way you choose, once you are a nurse, I really wish you enjoy the profession. Put in your best, look after people, and be exceptional in what you do. Thank you so much.
Wow, and I like that because it's always bugged me, like, you either care or you don't care. There is no middle ground about this. And
exactly.
You can see when people care, like you said, they just throw themselves into it.
Yes.
They have stuff going on, and unless you know stuff that are going on, you won't see it on their face, because when they're on ground, it's like they just want to make sure this person in front of them, get the best care that they can give them at that time.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's different if you go for your shift and you say you have it at the back of your mind, let me just get this shift done and get my money, let me get paid and walk out. And it's different when you go in with the mindset, oh, let me go there, touch lives, help people, and get paid for what I do. They are two different things. So it's very important to know which is best, which is, okay, you're delivering your services with your whole heart, and you are getting paid for your services. It's quite different. Oh, let me just jump into the work, like, it just has to be done. Let me just do it quick and get out. No. You can't be a perfect nurse by doing that.
Thank you for shedding light on that.
Thank you.
So, I heard you talk about international students and things like that. So I wanted to ask if you could talk about international educating nurses or international education and the challenges of transitioning into a new country. I don't know, if you've had to face that or you've supported somebody through that process. How has it been, and what are the things that people can, the pitfall and the things that they need to just know in advance before they launch into that sort of area or wanting to go in that line?
So for our audience watching, the internationally educated nurses, they are those who have their training in a different country, and after they have their registration and licensure is being done, they love moving to another country to practice. For myself, I am an internationally educated nurse. I was trained in Nigeria, and I moved out of Nigeria after several years into Ireland, which is completely different. We have where we are being trained back home, the hospital settings. Nursing training is quite the same everywhere, but when you go into the practical aspect, you find the hospital setting being different from where you are being trained. For me, I would say I have the same theoretical training with all the nurses probably worldwide, but because of the practical training that I have in Nigeria, the hospital settings, the kind of gadgets, the instrument, the equipment, and everything, it might be a little bit advanced when you get to the advanced world. For somebody like me, while I was trained in Nigeria and I moved to Ireland to practice. When I came in, it was quite challenging at the beginning, but I would say if you have great support from your employer, it will go a long way in helping you to acclimatize in a timely manner. Because I could remember when I joined the HSC about 3 years ago. When I came in, I was actually speaking with my sister back home, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'll be able to cope in the next 3-5 months. But surprisingly, within 6 weeks, because of the great staff support that I received, I had to go through my induction. And even before my induction ends, I was able to, jump into the system and see things the way it is being done in my new area. So I would just tell the internationally educated nurses that are planning to move out of their country to practice in a more advanced world or in another country that things might not be the same the way it is back home. So you have that at the back of your mind. You will meet with challenges, you will meet with situations. For myself, I was very fortunate to work with, supporting colleagues, and my hospital gave me a very great support. I had a great support system which helped me to cope quickly, and I was able to acclimatize with the new organization I find myself. But not every nurses will be so lucky to have that opportunity. Some internationally educated nurses, they are struggling and they moved out of their country to practice somewhere else, and they are not finding it easy, which is a common thing. So I suppose when you are leaving your country, one thing you should have at the back of your mind is that, like I said earlier, as a nurse, you have to be a fast learner. You have to learn fast. Have it at the back of your mind that you're not going to meet the same things you left back home. Things will be different. So learn fast and try to get yourself mentors in your new area. That's why it's very important to have mentors at any point in your nursing career. It will go a long way if you have mentors, somebody who can put you through. So when you get into a new environment and you see the way things are being done, get yourself a mentor, somebody that can take you through, somebody that you can ask questions, and try to, mix with people, make friends with your new colleagues, and try to ask them questions. Do not keep quiet. Things will only get rough when you keep quiet. Don't assume you understand everything because you are new in the settings. So you need to ask questions, ask the way it is being done. For me, during my time, I will say they will say, oh, Tolu asks too many questions, because even the ones I'm sure of, I'll still go back to ask those ones that I've met, those ones that I've spent more than 1-2 years, in the setting. I'll still ask them because I don't want to make mistakes. So it is very good if you get yourself a mentor, if you ask questions, enroll yourself in, some learning. We have so many online learning. Thank God for the internet. We have the Google. We have varieties of online learning platforms for nurses. Get yourself some certifications that might help you and participate. Do not withdraw. Do not hold back. Be a team player, and you just have to work hand in hand with everyone, not only the nurses, the doctors, the physiotherapists, the pharmacists, the pediatrician, everyone. It's called a multidisciplinary team approach. So when you get involved with all these MDTs and you get yourself relevant, make relevant contributions, tell them the way things are done, where you are coming from. Let them know you're not a novice, but it's just that you are new. And by that, you'll be able to get great help. So that's the advice I have for the internationally educated nurses who plan migrating at some point in their professional journey. Thank you.
Wow. And that's very important. And I like what you said about the fact that don't keep quiet. And that's important because people think, oh, I don't want people to think I'm stupid. I don't want them to think I'm not confident. It's not about that. It's about making sure that you're not putting yourself in trouble because you think you know. But even if you know, that information might have changed since the last time you were told it. So it's important that you know, like you said, check again. Even when you think you know, check again. I know you've been in leadership and different roles. So What is the biggest ongoing challenge you faced as a nurse, especially a woman nurse in leadership? And how are you tackling, how have you tackled it? And I think it's important because I think as we rise, it's important to still acknowledge that there is still some gap when it comes to women in leadership. And so how have you handled those situations? Tell us.
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. Well, for me, I would say the biggest challenge I have in the past, while I was, while I was raising my kids, the greatest challenge I had a couple of years back is the fact that I am a nurse and I have little babies to take care of. So it's quite difficult for me because, as you know, nurses, we run shifts. I might be on night shift. I have a baby who's going to look after my baby. My husband is also fully employed and, all of that. So it was quite challenging for me when the kids were coming, for me to gain a balance between nursing and my role as a mother. It was so challenging for me, to the point that sometimes when I'm going on my month night or weeks of night, I'll have to start phoning family members around, people that can travel hours into my own state just to look after my kids while I'm away at work. So it was quite challenging for me to, bridge that gap. But thankfully, I have a lot of support from my in-laws and my own family, and I have friends and church members who were very helpful, and they were able to help me to bridge that gap. And at the moment, as a nurse, being a nurse and a leader in the nursing profession, I suppose the biggest challenge I have for the time being is my time management, because I discovered there are many things on the table that I have to do. And most of the times I will tell people I think I am biting more than I can chew, because my 24 hours, most of the days, my 24 hours literally seems like 12 hours. And I will be asking, is today really 24 hours? I wish we could get some extension of some hours. So my biggest challenge is my time management. When I'm on my full-time job, it's a 12-hour shift. Before the 12 hours is gone, I'm exhausted. I have some online job that I want to do. I have some remote job that I want to do. I have some work that I want to do in the church. And I also have to play my role as a wife and as a mother in the house. So it's so difficult, to manage your time, fit into all those areas, and be exceptionally good bringing out a positive result in all those areas. You want to be a good wife, you want to be a good mother, you want to be a good worker, you want to be a leader, you want to be everything. It's like so time management is my greatest challenge, but I believe I am coping, so to say, because I haven't failed in any of my road. Thanks to Jesus, I haven't failed, and I know I won't fail. So God has been so faithful. I've been able to, manage my time well. I've been able to come in and play my role in every of these. And in all, I would just say, just center, put Jesus at the center of everything you do, and you'll receive divine guidance from him. And that is the best thing that has ever happened to me as a nurse in leadership, as a wife, and as a mother. It has helped me a long way to realize my role in every area, and I've been able to fit in and not to lag behind, and I've been able to meet expectations, so to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I just kept laughing because I can identify is that work-life balance, and especially when you rise into leadership and all these different things that you have to do, and you I don't know about you have this long to-do list, and then at the end of the day you're like, what happened?
What happened? Which one have I done? Have I even done anything? Because the list of to do is so long,
So how do you represent God in your field? I know, like you said, you meet people that are sick, you meet, and sometimes, especially when you are in the field of science and you look at certain things and you go like, this is a lot more than science. This person really needs support. How do you support people, especially, from the world of faith as well? Because I'm sure in your profession, there are people who probably have broken down and they've come to you and they just don't know what to do with themselves. And how do you represent God in that space? Tell us.
Thank you so much for that question. So, actually, being a nurse, you have to be spiritual, not only putting in your physical efforts to look after people, not only bringing in, the care you want to offer physically, but at the same time, you have to be spiritually inclined. And just like you said, that it's not all the patients that needed, the medical care, so to say. Some are broken, some have challenges they are facing, which is complicating their health. Like I said, let's say, for example, someone is suffering from cardiovascular disorders, and then the person has a very bad home setting. Maybe there is no family support. The person is facing challenges in the house, which could, in turn lead to high blood pressure and all of that. And this person doesn't just need an antihypertensive, because if you take an antihypertensive and you go back into a toxic home or a toxic workplace, it's not going to do you too good, because the mind is not going to relax. The blood pressure will still be high because of the stress and the stressors, the psychological stressors that is in place. So I suppose as a nurse, that's why we have to care for the patient in an holistic manner. Holistic approach of nursing deals with every area of nursing, not only the physical. It deals with it encompasses all aspects of the human being itself. You have to look after the spiritual, the psychological, the physical, everything about the patient. And that is why it is very important as nurses. We have to create time to get more closer to our patients, not only delivering your care and just going away, because most of the times you discover this patient, they really need somebody to talk to. Most of it has happened to me times without number, and I know it is the same with every other colleagues out there. There are times when you have a lot of to-do list at work and you just want to rush into that patient, get the job done, get the medication served, and then you go to the next patient, and you're there for minutes. The patient will hold you down with several talks. The patient will just keep you with him or her talking for several minutes, and at that moment you have to know that, okay, at this very moment my role as a nurse goes beyond just administering the medication and leaving the patient. You should know that this patient is psychologically disturbed, and at that moment this patient needs somebody to talk to. And when you give in your time, when you are patient enough to listen to the patient, you'll be able to know where exactly to come in. I pray for my patients. I might not necessarily go to them and say, okay, I want to hold your hand, let's pray, and then we start the prayer meeting. I pray for them in my heart. I pray for them that, God, this medication I'm going to give this patient, let it have the desirable effect. Let it have the pharmacological effect that is being prepared for. Because some patients will ask you of pain medication. You give them loads of pain medication, and at the end of the day, they'll come back to you and tell you, I'm still having the pain. The pain hasn't gone. So what happened to the medicine? Is it not working? So that is where our faith comes in. A little psychological support, a little spiritual support for your patient. We go a long way to care for the patient holistically, and this is what nursing encompasses. The holistic well-being of our patient matters. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you very much. Sorry, I can't help it laughing when you talk about the prayer band coming. No. We will pray for patients, and if they believe us and they ask for prayers and is within the confines that it's not gonna, obviously we're not gonna get into trouble trying to pray for them. Why not? But it's not, there are other ways to pray for them. Pray for them in your heart. Pray for them when you're doing your morning devotion, the way you prepare yourself before you even go to work. You are the director of mentorship in the Education and Research Committee of the Nurse in Charge. You obviously just been appointed, and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Tell us about Nurse in Charge. I must say I was sneaking around, so I did try to have a look a little bit, but I
Oh,
thought you are the best person who can tell us about it, because
oh,
I'm sure the nurses out there who would like to know about Nurse in Charge.
thank you so much, Temitope, for bringing that into the conversation this afternoon. Thank you so much. So, Nurses in Charge is a non-profit organization, is a faith-driven non-profit organization that is registered in all the states in the United States of America. It's based in Florida, basically, and we kind of come together. It comprises of nurses from different countries, different background, irrespective of your country, your ethnicity, your years of experience. We try to collaborate and bring nurses together into one body called Nurses in Charge. And what we do is just to hold our hands, hold ourselves in the journey of our profession, because you will see the novice in the organization, you will see the experts, you will see the student nurses, you will see those that have many years of experience, you will see those that are just joining the profession. So what we do is come together, have our meeting, help people, help nurses all over the world to grow in the profession. We celebrate our achievements. We help to come in. We come in when we have worries, when we have challenges, when we have troubles or problems. We come together. We support ourselves, and we bridge the gap between the novice and the expert. And in that way, we try to foster the organization standard, which what we are looking at is bringing nurses together collectively, collaborating together, uplifting ourselves, so that we can have one voice and we will be heard, and in such way to uplift our profession, because there's something that I believe in. We say nurses for nurses. So if we are there, we are supporting one another in our journey through the profession. I suppose it's going to make things much more easier for us, because there is burnout in nursing. Nursing could be so challenging. You may find yourself in a toxic workplace where you don't like, where you don't want to be, and you need colleagues to talk to, you need people to talk to. So that is why Nurses in Charge is very important. If you belong to an organization, if you belong to an association, you will be able to run back to your own people and tell them your worries and ask for a way that they can help you. So I am newly appointed as the director of mentorship, because like you said, like you asked earlier on, I'm an internationally educated nurse, and I have my licenses all over, not only here in Highland. So I have multiple licenses in all the nursing licensing bodies. And because while I was back home in Nigeria, it was a tug of war for me to get information about how to navigate my international journey. I had to pay huge sum of money to some people, to some organization, just to get information on how to register as a nurse, in the foreign countries. And one thing that I promised myself, and one thing that I promised my God, is that if God can help me in getting my licensure in all these countries that I'm looking at, that I will go back and give to the society. I will help the upcoming nurses. I will make their own journey much more easier than my own, and I will be a nurse that I wished I had met while I was trying my immigration journey. I will be that nurse to the upcoming nurses, and that I've been doing because I have the experience, and I have the knowledge of how you can go about evaluating your credentials, going through your professional examinations, migrating from African countries to Ireland, to America, to Canada, to UK. And I've been able to help a lot of nurses. I've been able to put them through the steps involved in their immigration journey. And I suppose that's one of the major reasons why Nurses in Charge need me. Thank you so much.
This is exciting, and I'm sure for our nurses who are listening to us from different countries, I'm sure they are taking notes, and they will really want to connect with you, because obviously they're probably struggling, thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? And somebody is probably trying to charge them an arm and a leg. to actually get things done for them. So we're at the end really, and it's an opportunity to talk about any business services, speaking engagements, coaching or mentoring that you do, and how our people can connect with you, because I'm sure there's somebody listening to us that probably knows somebody who is in that exact situation that you've described, or they are in that situation themselves and they would like to connect with you. So tell our audience about how they can connect with you.
Please, thank you for that opportunity. So basically, I have an established profile on LinkedIn. If you search me on LinkedIn, Tolu Omolola Adeoye at linkedin.com, you will find me. If you send a connection request, I'm open to accepting connection requests. You can inbox me. If you have any queries, just come to my DM, inbox me, and I'm happy to help. I also have a Facebook account. You might feel my Facebook isn't active because you won't find pictures and galleries there. But mind you, it is very active. So the same name, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. I have a private account on TikTok. So if you want to view my videos on TikTok, you have to, connect with me. You have to be one of my followers. And if I see your invitation to follow, I'm going to accept. But basically, I use LinkedIn very well because my profile is very established on LinkedIn. So if you come to LinkedIn and you find me, you will meet me at home and I will be delighted to help you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And what about the nurse in charge? Are people
yes, so for nurses in charge, we also have, thank you for bringing that in. So for nurses in charge, we also have our LinkedIn page. So if you go to LinkedIn, we have a page on LinkedIn, we have our page on Instagram, we have a page on Twitter. So if you go in there and you will see the link to join. There's a link there on the LinkedIn page. There's a link on the Facebook page, there's a link on our Instagram page. So just click on the link so you can express your interest. You're just going to answer a few questions about your name, your email address, your phone number, and all of that, and you will receive a follow-up email from Nurses in Charge. We are open to accepting members from all over the world, wherever you're from, whatever your level of education is, wherever your years of experience. We have a lot of students with us, so feel free to join Nurses in Charge, and I'm very sure you're not going to regret this, because we are just there basically to support one another, and that is what the organization is meant for. So we're not going to take a lot of things from you, but I can assure you we gain a lot of things from the organization. So you can give it a try, and I'm sure you will never regret joining. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. So there you have it, our audience. Get your finger, working. Go on LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, this is a good time for you to open a LinkedIn account and start connecting with nurses across the globe. Please connect with our guest today. I'm sure she will be happy to support you through the process. So till we come back in 2 weeks' time on this program, Ambassador in the Marketplace, I want to say thank you for allowing me to come into your living room, into your office, or even into your car to actually discuss and with my guest about being an ambassador in the field of nursing. Until then, I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Stay safe and God bless.
Thank you so much, Temitope. Thanks for having me. Bye.